What's up, YouTube? Today I'm going to be talking about scams, restaurant scams, and all other types of scams. This right now is the season for scams. The holidays are here. People are cyber scamming, and they're just scamming all different types of way over the phone, emailing. They just told this actually the FBI said there's a big jump in scams. And it's partly due because of the COVID-19. People are not working. They have more time to be in front of a computer and do their little cyber scamming more than usual. So I have a couple examples, and I also have an example that just happened to me this week, and it started about a week ago. It was like they're trying to play, I guess, the long game, and luckily we didn't get scammed, but I'll show you how they tried to scam us. And it's actually an old scamming trick that has been done in restaurants for years. I actually found the same example multiple times, and then I found one that was almost identical to what they try to do to me that was done over 10 years ago in a restaurant. So I'll show you that quick video, and it's basically the same scam that I have. So I'll show you my email of the information. So here we go. So before I get to the last video for the sample of the scam that they try to pull on me, again, this is just more other scams that are being played with the COVID. This is a direct what? This is a direct scam using COVID. So basically a restaurant is restaurants are being called saying that someone got coronavirus in their restaurant and they got to pay a fine, and they charge them over the phone. They ask them for the restaurant's credit card, and they charge them fake fine, and they say that the health department, again, if you really haven't really dealt with the health department that much, but most people don't, and if you do, that's usually not a good thing. You probably not 100% sure, like you probably believe that this is the health department, and people are getting scammed, paying these people money with their credit card. So the people are calling the restaurant saying that they are the health department, and a guest in your restaurant got corona while eating at your restaurant, and then this is the fine you have to pay, and they'll whatever price they're saying it is, and they're asking for payment right over the phone, and they're basically scamming these restaurants right over the phone with this fake fine. That's just one example. Well, this magazine is also saying pandemic-based cyber attacks, phishing schemes, and data breach. Oh my, they are on the rise. This magazine was a magazine that I get through the internet. It's telling me I subscribe. I already subscribed to this, but I guess when I looked it up online, it's just making me do the subscribe thing again. But I digress. So basically, now people are using a lot of cyber attacks on restaurants specifically. So they're trying to break into systems of restaurants, their POS system, trying to steal credit cards, and I guess some restaurants seem to be a little bit more vulnerable depending what POS system you have. So I mean, we're lucky we have a pretty good POS system that it has pretty good protection with that, but not everybody does, and there's a ton of POS systems that may not have as much protection as we do. So this is another target directly at restaurants in the hospitality industry. Again, the holidays are here. It's just you combine that with the coronavirus, scams are bad. This scam that I saw on as I was doing my research, this is one of the dumbest scams I've ever seen, but it also shows you the nerve someone to do this scam. This is not the same. This has nothing to do with my scam, but this is just something that I wanted to show you, that people really don't care. If they're gonna scam you, they'll throw no punches. They don't care. And this one is like, the guy has some nerve to do this one, but he does it and he gets away with it, and I'm pretty sure it's not the first time he's done this one.
The policy is the customer is always right. This week, one customer of BD's Mongolian Grill used that policy to scam the restaurant.
I know we're not perfect, and anytime that we mess up, we do try to make things right. And I think that's what my manager on duty was trying to do.
The customer showed a signed business card from the general manager saying a dry cleaning bill would be covered because of a wine spill from a previous visit. But the thing is, that spill never happened because the customer made it up that day.
Very bold that he actually wrote on the card here in the restaurant.
When he walked in, he immediately grabbed the business card off the wall. You can see on the security footage that he sits down at the bar and starts writing on the card. He had a full meal, then brought the card to a manager who accepted it without question. After getting that $25 meal free, the man also left with $40 cash for the dry cleaning.
So that is a fucked up scam. The guy goes into the place, steals a business card from the wall, and he goes there, has his meal, and then writes down that the manager before said he'll have a free meal on them and they'll pay for the dry cleaner. Amazing. And the guy got away because, again, they take advantage of, this is a hospitality business. A lot of it is we rely on the customer that they are being honest, and that's when you get screwed many times, because people, not all people are honest. So I mean, the majority are, but that's where you get caught with these bastards right here. These, I don't even want to say, but this is some fucked up shit. So this last example of a scam is basically the same scam they try to run on us in my restaurant. It was almost to the T. And funny thing is, this is from over 10 years ago. So this is a scam that is not new by no means, but I guess it works. And I guess it's one of those things scammers are, if it works, they're just gonna keep on using it. So I'm gonna do this so you guys can actually, if you know anybody in restaurants, pass it along. They're still trying to do this scam, so it's just, you know, heads up.
Scam. News 4's Mike McCormick is on the story from our Spartanburg newsroom. And Mike, did that restaurant fall victim to it?
Well, almost, Nigel and Carol. And now the owner is hoping to save other businesses from the thieves. At the Grapevine restaurant in Boiling Springs, the end of the year is busy with catering orders. So that's why a request for 300 meals didn't seem too crazy.
I was excited.
Owner Dimitri Koukouris took that big order by phone this week. He says it was a little odd that the call came through a third party, like one used for the hearing impaired. So he was talking to a woman who was relaying the information from a man who was communicating by computer.
Don't forget, money talks.
Koukouris says through the third-party service, the customer gave a Discover credit card number. The customer called back yesterday and asked Koukouris to add $1,600 to the bill and then Western Union that money to a company handling pickup and delivery. So the grand total was more than $4,000.
Credit card went through, all the money there. I said, this is legitimate.
But when Koukouris' wife and sons found out about it, they were suspicious. Online research led them to this newspaper article from Arizona about a scam that targeted restaurants there in September. The setup was about the same.
It's a shame people do something like that.
Luckily, he hadn't wired the money yet, so instead, he called the Spartanburg County Sheriff's Office. Koukouris says had he gone through with it, the credit card's rightful owner probably would have disputed the charge, and he would have been out the cost of the food and the extra $1,600.
If it's something too good to be true, careful.
So you saw that example about someone ordering a large order for pickup and catering and having a driver and all this. Basically the same thing happened to us, and I mean almost to the T. So the guy calls, the messed up part about this was that he actually used the excuse that he was buying this food for volunteers that are working in the COVID-19 relief. So we give them the menu. The menu was in the bottom. As you can see, this is the menu we attached to them, and we told them, you know, hello, and these are our takeout options, and we even offered a couple of other things if they wanted. His response was, okay, I want 50 shrimp for 50 people, roasted Brussels sprouts and butterscotch 50 people, Philly burger for 50 people. So he's talking about 150 dishes, and I'm just like, wow, that's interesting. Not only is it a large order, it's like nothing really goes together. Like you're eating burgers with Brussels sprouts and then shrimp. So it kind of just seemed like this guy just picked whatever. He wasn't really caring what he was getting. But again, at that time, I'm like, people eat what they're gonna eat. So I'm like, whatever. I can't say that this I can't judge someone for ordering something, even though if it doesn't necessarily go together. But that's what they ordered, right? So we like 150 dishes. That's a big order. So right after that, we confirmed the order, like this is what you ordered, and the burgers are going to be cooked a certain way, and yada yada. Please let me know if you're interested. Boom. He responds to that saying, I can only communicate through email or text. That alone got me a little weird. Like, we didn't ask you anything about, we just asked you if everything was okay, boom, boom. And this is how he responds. I can only communicate through via email or text. And I'm like, all right, that was a red flag. That was like 2 red flags in one. So this is the final email that we send. And then we basically, once we get this response, we don't follow up because we know it's a scam. But during this time, we hoping that maybe it's not. We're giving the guy benefit of the doubt. There has been no money transferred yet, so we're like, maybe it is a true order. It sounds a little fishy, but you know, some people are weird. You never know. So we tell him, you have a large order. We need a confirmation by. This has already been like 2 weeks went by when we haven't heard from the guy, and we couldn't get in touch with him because he never left the phone number and he was not responding his email. So we tell him, you need to confirm the order, and if not, we're gonna cancel the order. And we explain to them how much it's gonna be, and we need a confirmation and a payment because everything's got to get bought and everything's got to get prepped, you know, the normal stuff. He responds basically by saying, I'm all right with the cost, however, I would like you to do me a favor. And that's when the problem comes in. It's like, okay, this sounds literally like one of the scripts that scams read. He wants me to do a favor, and he's like, okay. Again, he's like, he goes over the individual is a health worker. He's he's picking up the food for health workers. Again, just giving extra information just to kind of, I guess, make us feel bad or whatever. And the private driver does not get payment through the credit card, so I would need you to charge an extra $3,000, $2,900, to extra, like, to the credit card that he hasn't given us the credit card number yet, but he's about to. But he is saying basically, if we are gonna do this, he would have gave us a credit card. So he asked for us to charge his credit card an extra $3,000 to the payment for the driver, and also, you know what, put an extra $300 for yourselves for your time. Then he goes down saying that the payment through the bank, and that was a red flag. And we just never responded. We already knew. So basically, once he started talking about adding an extra $3,000, I mean, you're talking about food is only $1,800, but you're gonna pay the driver $2,900. I mean, and then just give ourselves $300. I'm like, oh, this is a nice guy. It's a scam. And then at the end, he's like, he's basically at the very end, he sneaks in there that, there's gonna be a bank payment. How do these people get away with it? People need, like, this is the worst time for restaurants. There's gonna be some restaurants that probably are falling for this. We didn't fall for it, but there's gonna be some restaurants that are gonna fall for it. If there was no restaurants that fell for this, they wouldn't be doing this now for over 10 years and probably even longer. I only found that example from 10 years ago, but I'm pretty sure if I looked a little longer, there would have been examples from 20 years ago. You never know. So this is something that if anybody knows anybody or just share the video, this is not only the scam for the restaurant, this just scams in general being ran at a very high rate during these times, during the holidays and during the coronavirus. They seem to be a little bit more of a target. Some people are, there's another scam I read that people are asking basically to support a business, and they opening GoFundMe pages, and the money doesn't even go to the damn business, and people are taking the money. I mean, it's just a bunch of scams going on right now. So that's what I had to say. Peace, guys.
Get out of the kitchen right now.
Do it! Just do it! Yesterday, you said tomorrow. So just